At this place in history, we're in Essex Junction with Steve Perkins, Executive Director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, people can likely see that, to be exact, we are at the Champlain Valley Fair right now, but what exactly on the expo grounds brings us here?
Well, the history of the grounds. I mean, come on, Mike. This is at this place in history.
Certainly.
So like you said, we're in the city of Essex Junction, brand new this
Newly
year.
incorporated, yeah.
And we are celebrating 100 years of the Champlain Valley Fair. So we've asked Steve Mease, who's a local photographer, used to work for the fair, very interested in fairs in general, and has just published a book on this fair, to join us at the exhibit, which he rebuilt last year.
The fair actually got started back in 1915 up in Essex Center. And it was an area, the Grange was running the fair. It turned out that the location they had there wasn't great. When it rained, it was very muddy, the ground just was terrible. And so after the fair grew for a number of years, they said, we need a better location, settled on this location in Essex. It was a farm. It was also right on the trolley line from Burlington, and it was also close to Five Corners for the railroad. In its earliest years, the big draw for many people were the harness races. Over the years, they had auto racing. There were always the thrill shows, the hell drivers, and the auto shows that, cars crashing into each other or jumping over others. That continues today with monster trucks and the demo derby and figure eight racing.
Which really revolves around the grandstand, and there was kind of a seminal event for this fair.
Oh, there was.
In the mid-60s.
Yeah, I think it was July 11th, 1965. The grandstand right around noon caught on fire, and I think within probably a half hour it was burned to the ground. Fortunately though, they were able to rebuild. Concerts are always a big draw for folks, a lot of memories there. The biggest concert I can think of was the Elton John concert when he closed out his 50-state circuit, and Vermont was the last state on that.
At its core, this fair is still an agricultural fair.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about what that means to the community and what you used to see and what you can still see today?
Well, very much what's here today is what was here over the years, just maybe in a smaller scale. There are not as many cattle, there's fewer farms in Vermont, there's smaller displays of chickens or the pigs or the rabbits. But it's really the first chance some people and many kids to get a sense of where their food comes from. It's toward the end of the summer, the harvest. People would bring in their vegetables. Time to go for your blue ribbons and just to see folks. It was really probably the big social event at the end of the summer.
They say the 10 best days of summer. When did that saying come about?
Probably the last 10 to 12 years, I would think. It's had a number of different slogans over the years, the way you advertise the fair, but it's pretty much stuck with the 10 best days of summer for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, and you can see, Steve, on the exhibit itself as a product of your research that it couldn't have been branded as that any earlier than, I believe, like the mid-90s, because it didn't last 10 days until
Right. It started off as a 4-day fair. The fair has a website. There's some history on there, but new this year is a new book, Images of America. It's a Champlain Valley Fair. And it's available here at the fair. It's at local bookstores. You can get it online.
A full century of Vermont's largest annual event at this place in history.